How you doing out of YouTube? Haven't made a video about sleep paralysis in a long time, so I'm just going to talk about that some. And I'm also going to talk about a new experience that I had dealing with astral projection. Um, Now, dealing with sleep paralysis, ever since I made my last video back last year, my first video, I've had at least 20 more experiences after that of sleep paralysis. And one of those experiences, I had sleep paralysis about 7 times in one night, 7 times in a row. Every single time I went back to sleep, I slipped right back into sleep paralysis, and it happened 7 times in a row until I actually can really go to sleep. And sometimes, a lot of times I can feel myself slipping into sleep paralysis as well. If I wake up, I sit up in my bed and I'm fully woke. I'm fully woke. All of a sudden, I'm just going back to sleep. Lay down, closing my eyes. I feel my body just, kind of like being forced down, not being able to move. And I hurry up and get myself out of it. And that seems strange as well. So I know I'm not just dreaming, but something's actually happening, and I have no clue what it is. Some people say that sleep paralysis have to do with you're eating at night, or you're not getting enough sleep. But a lot of stuff doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't really make sense. How come I can fight it off as well? I'm trying to figure that out as well. I can feel myself slipping into it, so I try to fight it, and I always win. So okay, dealing with I'm gonna tell you at least 3 or 4 experiences that I had more dealing with it. Now, when I was deployed, I had an experience. I was sleeping in my bunk bed. This is when I first got to the place I was deployed to, and I was sleeping in my bunk bed, and all of a sudden, you wake up, you can't move. I looked to my left. It was dark in my room. I looked to my left and I saw something just standing there staring at me. I don't even know if it was really standing because it was kind of like floating around, just looking at me. And I was looking at it at the side of my eyes, and I'm just like, what is this thing? And it was just staring at me. I saw the outline of it. It was just like the outline, as you see the silhouette of somebody. But it was different because you can also see the outline of the eyes, the outline of the mouth, the outline of everything. And it wasn't a person, it wasn't a man, it wasn't a woman, but I have no clue what it was. And it was just looking at me. And when I could move again, the strange thing is that it was still there, and I was able to move. So I put the covers over my head, and I looked again. It was still there. I turned to the left, to the right, looking at the wall. Turned back, it was still there. So and it was just staring at me. So I kept staring right back at it for about 10 seconds, and it was just standing, floating around, just staring at me. And I was even stranger because I could move, and so that was really weird. So I put the covers right back over my head, and I kept it there for a while. Finally took the covers off, it was gone. And it's just strange. Some people say that when you have sleep paralysis, you're basically, when you wake up, it's just your dream. That's what they say, it's just your dream. But it's not just your dream, because a lot of times I dream about other things. I dream about something totally different than what I just experienced in sleep paralysis. So the whole dream thing doesn't make sense at all. So I don't believe it's just me dreaming. Another experience that I had when I was deployed. No, it happened when I was here. I was in my bed, and typical SP. You wake up, you can't move, you can't speak, you can't yell or anything. My wife was beside me, and my son was there too, and I just heard this weird noise. A lot of times when people have SP, a lot of people say that they hear a buzzing noise, and this is exactly what I heard. I heard something buzzing. Never heard it before until that night, and it was just buzzing. It was a strange type of buzz. Never heard it in my life. I don't even know if I can describe it, but it was just a weird type buzz going high and low, high and low. It was like man. But that's not how it sounded, but that's how basically it was going, high and low. And I mean that didn't really scare me or anything because I didn't see nothing, but I just heard it. Actually, I really couldn't see anything anyway because my covers was over my head. So I heard that noise, and I'm like, what is this noise? Where is it coming from? But I couldn't move. All of a sudden I could move again. It was gone. Another experience that I had. It was quite weird. This time I heard something else. And yet again the covers was over my head, so I didn't see anything. Woke up, couldn't move, couldn't speak, couldn't do anything. And what I heard something speaking, but it wasn't speaking in my language. It wasn't speaking English. It wasn't speaking, I don't even think it was an earthly language at all. It wasn't any foreign language that I ever heard or anything. So I have no clue what kind of language it was at all. But it was something like we hear on TV from these alien movies and everything. You hear a weird noise. It sounded like somebody was speaking in tongues. That's what it sounded like, in an alien type manner. How they portray aliens on TV. That's how it sounded. And that didn't well, actually that did scare me because it kept getting louder. And the person, whatever that thing was, it just kept speaking, and it was getting louder and louder. It just kept speaking, it was getting louder. And I'm like, wow, would it please stop? It's just creeping me out. So that lasted for about 10 seconds. Then I could move again, happily. And I thank God that I never seen nobody standing at the foot of my bed. I never seen nobody standing at the side of my bed or anything like that. I seen a shadow. I felt something on my bed before, and it ran and jumped off my bed, and then I could move again. I felt that before, and I saw a shadow, and I heard laughing, like a creepy type gremlin type laugh, gremlins. But I never seen nobody standing at the foot of my bed. I never seen a woman or man, and I don't want to see it either because that'll definitely creep me out. And they're just standing there. This one girl, she said she saw this lady with a hat on standing beside her bed, just standing there. And she said that she was there for a while, and all of a sudden she growled. It was like a deep growl, and she disappeared. That was strange, and I definitely don't want to experience anything like that. But okay, moving on to astral projection. I had an experience with dealing with this as well, and I don't know how it happened. I don't even know if it's astral projection, but I don't know. I guess it is. I was just asleep. Yet again, I was asleep. All of a sudden, I woke up. And I woke up. I couldn't move. It seemed like it was sleep paralysis. I couldn't move at all. Couldn't move. Then, I couldn't move. But then all of a sudden, I sat up. I sat up in my bed slowly. I sat up in my bed slowly, and I saw my hands on the bed just laying by my side where I was sleeping at. And I lifted up my hand, but I didn't see my hand move at all. I moved my hand. I waved my hand around and everything, but my hand was still laying on the bed. So I have no clue I don't know if it was astral projection or not, but that was weird as well. And it was pretty cool, actually. It didn't really scare me, but it was pretty cool. I didn't see anything. Thank God I didn't see nothing. I didn't hear anything. But I just sat up in my bed and I lifted my arms, and my arms were still laying on the side of my bed, and I was still laying down as well. But I was sitting up at the same time. How can I explain that? I don't know how. Best possible way I can say is astral projection. So I don't know. But if anybody else had these experiences, just hey, tell me. All right. Thank you. All right. God bless. Oh yeah. Also, as a Christian, I believe that these things dealing with sleep paralysis, science tries to explain it, but it doesn't answer a lot of stuff that happened to me, and I'm like, wow, how is this, what is going on? So as a Christian, I believe it's a spiritual thing. And if you're not a Christian, you might believe it's something else, but as a Christian, I believe it's a spiritual thing. And I will tell you this, a lot of times when I had this experience, I called on the name of Jesus Christ in my mind, and as soon as I called on his name, bam, I was out of it. It worked every time, and except for one time it didn't work. But but usually, you know, it works every single time except for that one time. So all right, thank you. That's my experience. God bless.